Let's start off by looking at the 3 onboarding objectives that you need to cover. Number 1, you need to assure to newcomers that they made the right decision to join your community. Number 2, you need to create a welcoming space. And number 3, you need to inspire action in your members. So let's start off with assurance. Even after a new member joins your community, reconfirm their reasons for joining. If possible, highlight the offer that you advertise to these members through your about page, in your content, and in your marketing materials. What's important is that you highlight at the least the core purpose of your community. With regards to a welcoming space, create a welcoming environment that encourages newcomers to engage in some form of introductory ritual. And there's no reason to overcomplicate this process. Simply put in place a system that guides your members to make their first contribution. And this is typically an intro post. Like 90% of communities, the first thing that people do is they make an intro post. So keep your onboarding process as simple as possible too. When I'd first built the Community Builders Start Here onboarding course, it was 10 modules in length. It was pretty long for an onboarding course. Now it's only 5. So in other words, the onboarding course was reduced by 50%. Therefore, you must be willing to shorten and streamline this process as much as possible because your new members will thank you for this by actually going through the process and introducing themselves. There's no need to overcomplicate the onboarding process. Make it as simple and as streamlined as possible for new members, especially if they're unfamiliar with the Skool platform, right? If your onboarding is too complicated, you risk not having as many people go through with it. Again, what's important is that you make this intro process meaningful to new members. For example, in Community Builders, you're asked to share your current community goal. This is meaningful and in relation with the interest and themes covered in Community Builders. In a bodybuilding community, you might share your current physique. In a philosophy community, you might share your favorite quote, etc. Experiment with this process and see what you come up with. Next up, we're going to look at inspiring action. And the way that you're going to go about doing this is by having a roadmap. Now, a roadmap is a detailed plan to guide your members' progress towards a goal. So if you remember this illustration or graphic here from a previous module, you'll notice that this is the roadmap process in a nutshell. And here's what I mean by that. Through a series of clear steps, you're helping your members avoid whatever problem it is that they have. Here it is, they're running away from their problem, so that they can reach whatever solution it is that they desire. And here they are running towards their solution, and here you are helping them out. And throughout this process, you're encouraging members and helping them out by pointing them in the right direction. Now, what is your members' roadmap in specific? What is your members' roadmap? That's important to figure this out. Determine what problem your members have in common and that they want solved. Surely your members have lots of problems, but what is the pattern that emerges from all of your members? What is that core shared common problem that you can indeed solve for them? For example, here, a problem that members have is low community engagement, but in a bodybuilding community, that could be being skinny fat, or in a philosophy stoicism community, that could be falling prey to negative emotions, etc. Determine all the steps that exist between point A, which is their problem, all the way to point Z, which is their desired solution or goal. So for example, in the case of low community engagement as a problem, the steps involved in alleviating that would be DMing members to check in on them, initiating discussions, starting challenges, etc. Whereas with being skinny fat in a bodybuilding community, that could be starting to eat better, hitting the gym more often, committing to XYZ exercise, and so forth. And lastly, in the context of a philosophy or stoicism community, that could be reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, meditating, or even doing introspective journaling. The list goes on and on. Ask yourself then, how can my community's deliverables, which are your courses, live calls, challenges, rewards, coaching, events, etc., how can all of these things, these deliverables, help members travel from point A to point Z? And for each of the steps that you've identified in the previous step, try to have an answer in the form of your community's deliverables. For example, in Community Builders, you transition from your current state to a more fulfilled state, which is achieving your community goal, by committing to the challenges found in your roadmap. And the roadmap is an entire course that instructs you how to set up a challenge for yourself that keeps you accountable and essentially ensures that you make progress towards your community building and management goals. And these challenges give you the framework, motivation, and accountability required to see your community plans through. Not only that, but you have access to learning materials such as this course that give you the tools required to help your journey from point A to Z be more seamless in the context of this particular community. Whereas in a bodybuilding community, you might have fitness challenges, courses on diet or workouts, personalized coaching, and so forth. And all of these laid out in a particular chronology to address your members' needs at each step of their journey. And so also in a philosophy community, you might have meditation challenges, a book club live call format, journaling prompts, etc. And again, all of these laid out in a particular chronology to address your members' needs at each step of their journey. And so we'll close this section off with good roadmap practices, which are to have clear guidance and instructions, make things as simple as possible. Long-term engagement path. So have a long-term engagement path. This means that you want to stretch out the timeline of your roadmap so that it extends far out into the future, months out into the future. And this keeps your members active in your community longer because they just simply have a reason to be there and to be more active in the long term, right? Like, let's say, for example, your community members join and you only have a roadmap that extends for only 1 month. They're likely just going to stay for 1 month and then after that leave because they have no reason to be there anymore. You've given them no reason to be there anymore. Whereas if you stretch out that roadmap from 1 month to 6 months, now they'll be staying for half a year and so forth. You could stretch it out longer. You are the community builder, so all of these sort of creative details are up to you. Also, try to maintain a fast delivery on promises. Most communities promise long-term transformations. However, fast results as soon as a member joins is a great way too to create positive feedback loops fast. Now, I'm not contradicting the previous point. Don't worry. This is just to say that you can have a long-term roadmap strategy in your community, but make sure to have a bunch of quick successive wins if possible when your member first joins, because this is going to create a positive association, positive feedback loops, and create some momentum for your member going forwards in your community. And so, for example, when members first join community builders, they can make their intro post, which then could get them 5 likes, and then they gain full access to this course. And this exact series of events can unfold in their first day here, giving newcomers a fast and big win from the jump that creates momentum for them and ensures that they have a positive association with this community as soon as possible. So it's very important to sort of leverage the mechanisms of Skool or hell, whatever community hosting platform you're on to give your members quick wins fast. Again, if you're starting a Skool, I put my affiliate link in the pinned comment as well as the description of this video. If you use it, I'll send you my launch checklist and you'll be able to book a free setup consult with me.